Shalom, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elder that came before them that taught us his truth, and Shalom, and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with the World War III daily update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here. Going to get to the main event. All right, everything is in its place and going down as we speak. But we, the men of the Lord, we know exactly what to look for as far as prophecy is concerned, okay? To be able to tell time. All right, let's get that real quick before we... Ooh, and I don't have any. Let's see. I don't have any. I'll have to pull it up. Let's see. Yep. Got to pull up... Let's pull up... what am I looking for? I just forgot. Drew a blank. Least of the flock. Salakia. Let's get a second Ezra. Wadi Hawashim Hashabashim Kakadash came. Second Ezra 9, yeah? Second Ezra 9, right here. Okay, here we go. All right. So what we're doing is we're measuring now the time. How do you measure the time? By understanding what the prophecies are and seeing them as they come in. And, that's your countdown, if you will. All right, Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure what? The time. Measure thou the time. Measure that diligently in itself. How? And when thou seest part of the signs, what signs? The prophecies past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it's the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So these prophecies determine how close we are to the Most High sending back his Son. What are some of the prophecies? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, those are some of the prophecies. Earthquakes, uproars. We see all of that right now. Right? Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Okay, so there's your time schedule. The time schedule is set by the prophecies and understanding what they are and when they come. All right. Now, here's one of those prophecies. Jeremiah 49:20. Okay. And before we read that, let's read this little header. The judgment on the Idumeans. Okay. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against all Idumea. See that? Idumea. It's the Greek way of saying that word. And his purposes, that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Who are the inhabitants of Teman? Well, they're the Idumeans, because Teman is an ancient city in Idumea. Okay? Surely, so who are we talking about? We're talking about all Idumea, but now we're going to break it down into the dukes. Okay? Surely the least of the flock of who? The Idumeans. Who is the least of the flock? Of the dukes of Idumea. Amalek. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Shall draw who out? The Idumeans. Namely the Babylonians, who are the modern day Babylonians, who are the Americans. Surely the least of the flock, the Amalekites, shall draw them out. Okay, surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Which brings us here. Okay, let's watch this. I'm going to try to keep this short. The Israelis strike. Israeli strikes terrorists again. Now, who's the terrorist? Whoever the terrorist is in the eye of the beholder. And I guess today was supposed to be war and rumors of war Wednesday, since we didn't have it yesterday, but I guess I'll push it back to Thursday, since we're specifically talking about the Amalekites, right? Doing what? Going further to divide the land. All right. Let's just watch this. I got it at 136 because this is the main event, if you will, in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. We'll get that on the way out. We'll try to keep it short. So, CBN News, Israeli strikes terrorists again. Okay, so let's watch this. And then we'll go into quickly how they were given the green light to bomb Iran. Okay.
We begin in Israel, which has begun another round of strikes against Palestinian Islamic Jihad, this time against its rocket launching sites. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, many Israeli residents on the Gaza border are being ordered to stay inside.
Palestinian terror groups are launching rockets into southern Israel. The attacks come after Israel struck Palestinian Islamic Jihad rocket launching sites designed to degrade the terror group's ability to fire rockets into southern Israel. On Tuesday night, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned terror groups within Gaza not to harm Israeli civilians.
Israel's policy is clear. Those who seek to harm Israel will be harmed. Those who kill our citizens will pay a heavy price. And those who fire on our cities and civilians will be held responsible for their actions.
Now, I'm absolutely sure that the so-called Palestinians have the same policy. And their people are being killed left and right as though it's perfectly fine to do that. Right? Even though they only have rocks and sticks or rockets as opposed to missiles and guided missiles and nukes for that matter. So anyway.
It may take time, but Israel will ultimately reach these terrorists. No one should doubt Israel's resolve to defend its citizens.
The strike killed the 3 leaders, but at least 12
See how they just glaze over. The strike killed the 3 leaders. What? This is huge right now. Okay? Make no mistake, as quiet as they're trying to keep this, the Palestinians are mad as hell right now. Okay? And this is huge. Nobody's saying nothing about it. Okay? But it's huge. Okay? How do the Palestinians feel about their leaders? See, old Bibi is still alive talking shit into the mic. But these guys are dead. How do the Palestinians feel about that? Don't they have their own set of rules that says, if our leaders go down, we step it up? Aren't they saying that?
Actions. It may take time, but Israel will ultimately reach these terrorists. No one should doubt Israel's resolve to defend its citizens.
The strike killed the 3 leaders, but at least 12 others died in those strikes.
As always, Israel tried to minimize civilian casualties, and the state of Israel regrets any harm caused to non-combatants.
Who tried to minimize? As always, what?
Defend its citizens.
The strike
will be harmed. Those who kill our citizens will pay a heavy price. And those who fire on our cities and civilians will be held responsible for their actions. It may take time, but Israel will ultimately reach these terrorists. No one should doubt Israel's resolve to defend its citizens.
The strike killed the 3 leaders, but at least 12 others died in those strikes.
As always, Israel tried to minimize civilian casualties, and the state of Israel regrets.
Israel tried to minimize civilian. What? Oh, minimize. Okay.
Any harm caused to non-combatants. The difference between Israel and our enemies is that we make every effort to keep the enemy's civilian population out of harm's way, while our enemies make every effort to deliberately target our civilians. We mourn the loss of innocent lives. They celebrate the loss of innocent life.
Israeli security expert told CBN News that the strikes restored a level of deterrence and that Iran is the power behind Palestinian Islamic Jihad.
Iran is the main director of the initiatives of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, PIJ. It's the funder. It's also the training element. I mean, at the end of the day, these terrorists need to know how to prepare a drone, how to arm a drone, how to prepare an IED, an explosive device, and Iranian experts are actually helping them achieve these terroristic goals.
Former IDF international spokeswoman Avital Leibovich says it's all part of Iran's main goal.
The most important message I would tell the American audience is the Iranian presence. In 3 out of Israel's 4 borders, there is Iranian presence, and I don't mean it in a positive way. I mean, Iran is trying to build some kind of a network of terror groups by delivering here arms, strategic weapons, different capabilities. They say it loud and clear. They don't want Israel to exist.
The major question today is if Hamas, the major terror group in the Gaza Strip, will join the fight. That would indicate a major escalation and the potential for many more days of fighting. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Okay, so let me show you something real quick. I find it quite strange. Okay, look at these guys. All right, I'm not saying that this is a matter of fact, but who are these guys? Right. Could these be Israelis behind these masks? Could be. Why are they all masked up? Why do they have to be masked up? Nobody else masks up. Could these be Israelis acting as though they're coming against Israel so that Israel can go shoot anybody they want? Right? They are doing that. Could it be the reason for masking up? The answer is yes. I'm not saying that it is. All right. Where are they showing? They're going to show the Iranians, right? Where are the Iranians?
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online.
Slovakia. Just bear with me. Let's see this. Probably right behind that. That's Iran. Show Iran marching. Let's see. Okay, see the masks? And and who took these pictures? And who's this? Is this propaganda? Are they afraid to show their face? Why would they be? Okay, look at that. While they're fighting. That could be anybody, first of all. Okay, and when you understand how the devil operates, no masks in Iran. Is this Iran? Is this Iran right here? Where's all the masks here? All right, no masks. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, I'm just saying. Oh boy, let's go here. Why? Why am I just saying that? Because I understand the scriptures. Sirach 5, right? This is Sirach 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Yeah. No masks here. It's just not being ignorant. I didn't say what was going on and what, but could it be, right? Could it be that these masks are masking something greater? Right? Could be. What else? Let's go to 12. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. Uh-oh. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So you can't trust these guys. You can't trust this guy right here. Oh yeah, oh no, they attacked us. They did? I don't know that that's true. We know what's going to happen as a countermeasure to the story you're putting forth, right? What is a rocket? Who's supplying rockets? Okay, wouldn't they be supplying missiles? If Iran was supplying Hamas and Hezbollah, wouldn't they be supplying them with missiles that could actually jack up the land, or just missiles that, ain't gonna do? Who does that? Who does that? That whole story's got holes in it. Anyway, be not ignorant, all right? So we see the least of the flock, right? We see surely the least of the flock, drawing them out, drawing attention to what? Let's go to Joel. Drawing attention to the Middle East. Joel 3 and 2 in the NLT. I will gather, who is I? The Most High, Yahweh, will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahweh, into the Middle East. So this is the main event right here, right? The main event is going down here, okay? Is going down here. You understand? Watch this. I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahweh, which is the actual name, Armageddon, right? Yahweh, Jehoshaphat, if you will, is in Israel. But the greater valley is talking about the Middle East, what we call today the Middle East. There I will judge them. Why? For harming my people. His special people, his special possession, Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, for scattering my people among the nations and for dividing up who divided up the land? Well, let's see who divided up the land from the mouth of one of these people, if I can find it. Let's see who divided up, and this guy keeps saying divided up the land, divided up the land. If I can find it, let me see. I'm kind of flying through the spirit right now, so bear with me. See if I can find it. Where's Stephen Banoon at? Where you at, Banoon? The useful idiot. Stephen Banoon? Oh, here we are. Right here. Let's listen to a little bit of this. And now this guy is an Israeli. He's a Jew, a so-called Jew. Let's see what he's saying. Okay, this is 3 days ago. Israeli News Live. We know who this guy is. You kind of feel for the guy, right? He might be an Israelite who's just totally misled. Anyway, because there are even some so-called Jews that go back to the nation of Israel, the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, not the Edomites that are calling themselves Israelis. Okay, now listen closely to what this guy says. Let's see, I'm trying to cut out the intro. Listen closely to what's being said here. I'm not passing judgment one way or another. This is him, right? This is his video. What he's saying, not me. Salaki. Take it away, Stephen.
Good afternoon, friends. Stephen Benoon here with Israeli News Live. And listen, what we're going to be talking about today is something that'll be shocking for many of you. I'm sure you've heard some information, see some information, but unless you really look, you don't realize the crimes that go on in the state of Israel.
Boom, this is him talking. This is a Jew. He claims to be a Jew. Okay, even though the tribe of Judah is dark skinned like me, right? American Negroes. Anyway, he's going to go into a series of phrase, and the phrase is divided up the land, divided up the land. Now, before I let him do that, let's go and look at this one more time. Why is God going to judge? There will I judge them. Judge who? The nations. I will gather all nations and bring them into the valley of God's judgment. Shaphat, right? Shaphat means judgment. Jeho is Yahweh. Yahweh, Shaphat. God, Most High's name is Yahweh. Shaphat means judgment. I will bring them into the valley of God's judgment. There will I judge them for what? Harming my people, my special possession, scattering my people among nations. And for what? Dividing up my land. Dividing up my land. They have divided my land. Divided my land. Listen to what Stephen keeps saying over and over again. I'll let you know what we're
And
going to do.
of course, I was very pro-Israel, very pro-Israel. You can go back about 7 years ago, and you'll just see how staunch of a supporter of Israel that me and my wife were. But as things began to come to light, as we began to see the crimes and things that were being done in the state of Israel, all in the name of Zionism, this is what caused us to change. It's what caused us to relook and evaluate the biblical not only the biblical aspects of what was going on, but also what was being done in the state. And these statements right here are statements made by both former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett and Aliyat Sheikh, who is a minister in the Israeli government as of right now. She actually says they have to die. Their houses should be demolished. Their blood should be on our hands. That's Aliyat Sheikh. Prime Minister or former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said, I've killed many Arabs in my life, and there's no problem with that.
You hear that? You hear that? So when the truth starts coming out, you start thinking, why are they firing rockets and not missiles? Rockets ain't going to hurt nobody. So who's actually doing that? Who's supplying the rocket? If Iran is supplying a rocket, wouldn't Iran be supplying missiles? Doesn't make sense.
Now, these are people like what you see here. Aliyat Sheikh right here. Here she is. Israeli politician, Minister of Interior, and former Minister of Justice. Former Minister of Justice and saying their blood should be on our hands. Are you serious? Is this really what we want? And by the way, in another special video I'm going to be doing, we're going to be talking about Israel's control over Wikipedia. They control the narrative. That's according to former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett.
That's not Kanye West saying these things, that they control this or that. This is them saying that. This is white on white crime.
I'll be sharing that, but in a separate video. Here we have Naftali Bennett right here. Former Prime Minister Naftali Bennett reviews his time in office. That was three days ago that was done. Now, he has come out and said some truthful things here recently, but the mere fact that he killed Arabs is no big deal. Now, when I lived in Israel back in 2004, I had a roommate in the home that I lived in. We shared the house there together. He paid part and I paid the other part. And he was an IDF soldier. He was actually injured. He was handicapped from his injury. But he would share with me how they would target practice on, believe it or not, yes, target practice on Palestinians.
This is fair use, by the way. Fair use. I'm not saying these things. He's saying. Okay. And I don't care if it's true or not. I don't have a dog in that I'm just showing you what this guy is saying.
That was when I first began to realize something was wrong. Something was seriously wrong. And as I said, I was a very staunch supporter of Israel. Here again, 7 years ago, ecumenical movement in Jerusalem is not of God, not of the God of Israel. And here I am, I'm right here in Jerusalem, filming this there 7 years ago when me and my, or 20, oh, well, gosh, probably further back than that, when me and my wife actually were living, we went over there, tried to live there a little bit. It was a little bit too hard on her. But here I am speaking right there in support of the Jewish people and criticizing Prime Minister Netanyahu for being willing to divide the land.
Being willing to do what? Wait a minute. The Bible uses those words. The Bible uses those words. Okay? Let me hear that again.
Netanyahu for being willing to divide the land. Okay, so another video here just to kind of show some of this stuff that I've done here. This is the one where it's talking about dividing Jerusalem. What was this one about? Ecumenical movement in Jerusalem. Okay, not the will of God there. This one here, I'm talking now. I think I'm in Europe in this one here. But again, standing with
in order to revoke
Israel,
I
I was standing very staunchly with Israel at that time. This one here, though, maybe it was further back, 6 years ago. All right, 6 years ago. So just to kind of show you that. Now, what did I want to do, though, here? I want to show you Israelis and what they have to say about the things that are going on in Israel, and also the very things that are happening there. This here, listen to the brave Israeli historian Ilan Pape expose how the Zionists planned the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from Palestine long before 1948. By the way, when I was showing you this here, I forgot to show you the first prime minister of Israel, David Ben-Gurion, when he says, "We will expel the Arabs and take their place. In each attack, a decisive blow should be struck, resulting in the destruction of homes and the expulsion of the population." He said this in a letter to his son in 1937.
Before the Holocaust.
All right, now let's move on. Listen into this here for a moment.
That from the mid-1930s, and definitely immediately after the Second World War, the Zionist political and military leadership contemplated and planned mass expulsion of Palestinians in order to create what they thought would be a Jewish democratic state. They wanted as much of Palestine as possible, with as few Palestinians in it as possible. Their main problem in 1947, 1948,
before the Balfour Declaration was executed,
when the British rule came to an end, was that the Jews in Palestine were only 1/3 of the population. And even when the United Nations took over the issue of Palestine from Britain and suggested to partition Palestine into an Arab state and a Jewish state in November 1947, the demographics were such that even in the Jewish state that was offered by the United Nations, the Jews were still not the majority, because there were too few Jews in Palestine in 47, 48.
now this is a Jewish man here. That's a Jewish man here. That's a Jewish man there. And they're saying this, not a so-called African American, not Kanye West. This is them stating facts, okay? So does this make them anti-Shemitic? Does it? That's them.
And the solution, definitely after the Second World War, in the eyes of the leading Zionist politicians and military commanders, was very clear. What I called in my book, of 2007, the ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians.
Doing exactly what they say was being done to them in World War II. What does ethnic cleansing mean? It means genocide. Does it not? Of course it does. So how is it that these people are doing to these people, calling them, the ancient name for the word Palestinian is Philistine. Okay? Now the people that are in that land right now, right? Canaan, in the land of Canaan, calling themselves Philistines, are not the Philistines. Okay? Those are the sons of Ishmael. They're Arabs. Okay? Palestinians or Philistines are the sons of Ham. They're Hamitic, Noah's son Ham. The Philistines, or Salakia, the Arabs or the sons of Ishmael come out of Noah's son Shem. They're Shemitic as well. The Edomites are Shemitic as well. The Israelites are Shemitic as well. All right? So when you know the truth, lies don't, they have no ground. Okay? The people that are there calling themselves Palestinians are not the sons of Ham. They're the sons of Shem. So they can't be the Palestinians. They can't be the Philistines. They're none of those things. And the people that are there calling themselves Israel, right, are not Israel. They're Idumea. Okay? They're Shemitic, the sons of Shem. So are the Arabs. They're Shemitic too. All right? But when you know who is who, the lies fall flat. Okay? So what are these people doing? What are the Idumeans doing to the Arabs? They're dividing the land between themselves right now. And he's the one that was saying it.
There you have that right there. Now, here's another major problem, okay? And that is the abortion that was legalized in Israel. It used to be very, very strict. I did a video on this quite some time back. I'll have to look it up so I can share that with you guys once again. But the abortion laws in Israel became the most liberal abortion laws on the planet.
Okay, so that goes back into genocide and extermination, that those terms, that you can't say these type of things in these people's face because they own the words, right? So anyway, he used the term dividing the land. Let's see if I can find it again.
Back than that, when me and my wife actually were living, we of God, not of the God of Israel. And here I am, I'm right here in Jerusalem filming this there. Soldier, he was actually injured. He was handicapped from his injury, but he would share with me how they would target practice on, believe it or not, yes, target practice on Palestinians. That was when I first began to realize something was wrong. Something was seriously wrong. And as I said, I was a very staunch supporter of Israel. Here again, 7 years ago, ecumenical movement in Jerusalem is not of God, not of the God of Israel. And here I am, I'm right here in Jerusalem filming this there 7 years ago when me and my, or 20, oh, well, gosh, probably further back than that, when me and my wife actually were living, we went over there, tried to live there a little bit. It was a little bit too hard on her. But here I am speaking right there in support of the Jewish people and criticizing Prime Minister Netanyahu for being willing to divide the land.
Divide the land. Why is God coming back to judge them, the other nations? Because they scattered his people where? Among the nations. How did we get to America? By slave ship and dividing up his land, Israel. Okay, now let's further prove who is over there, who took the land and appointed. Appointed, what does it mean to appoint? Appoint my land, appointed my land into their possession. Let's see whose name comes up. Ezekiel 36 and 5, and we'll close on this. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, power. Surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, there's the nations, and against all, here's the name, Idumea. Same right here. All, that word. All Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession. Wait a minute. With the joy of all their heart, with the spite money to cast it out for prey. Wait a minute. Who appointed the Most High's land and divided? This guy just told you. He's telling you out of his own mouth. Why are you mad at Bibi, not a Jew?
Of the Jewish people and criticizing Prime Minister Netanyahu for being willing to divide the land.
So with that, if you can't get it, if you don't understand what's going on, then, it's up to you. So, yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and the war is coming back to this land. How do we know? Because the Most High is the one making it happen. God said, right? No matter what is going on in Eastern Europe, okay, what did the Most High say? I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? The valley of God's judgment in Israel, in the Middle East. There will I judge them. Why? For harming my people. Do we have to go into that? Do we have to go into harming my people? Let's go into it. Here's harming my people. This is harming my people right here. Okay? For harming my people, these are Idumeans doing this. What is this? Look at this. You know what it is. You know what it is. Come on. All right, for harming my people. Right? What's this? Slave auctions. Because it goes into it. It goes into it. Let's get a little more meat off of this bone. Let's make it clear who this is talking about. Okay? Let's make it clear. Yay! Let's see. Let's go back here. Wait. Let's go right here. There will I judge them for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, for dividing up my land. They threw dice to decide which of my people would be their slaves. Wait a minute. Wait. Go back. Go back. Slaves. Uh-oh. We're getting a more clear picture right now. We're getting a more clear picture of who God's people are. Okay? Slaves to be sold. Negroes. Cargo. Not Africa. Where does it say Africans in here? It don't say nothing about no damn Africa. Did they pick us up in Africa? Yes, they did. But we're not Africans. We're Negroes. Not the Negroes. Not the Negro. Where does it say Africans in here? It says Negroes over and over and over. Prime slave. It doesn't say anything about Africa, does it? In these old slave situation. It just keeps saying Negroes over and over and over, right? Why? Not the Negroes. Let's see. White noise. Let me get this. I'm going to just type this in and see where it goes. Let's type this in. Google. Not the Negro. Not the Negroes. Let's just type that in and see what comes up. Not the Negroes. Ham. Who is Ham? Ham is one of Noah's 3 sons. Let's see what not the Negroes brings up. Okay. Hebrew apostolics. Where are we at? Okay, it says the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary says Ham. This is the definition of Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, which is bullshit. All of them look the same. Not the Negroes. He became who? Ham, the father of the so-called Africans, right? The Palestinians. Watch, is gonna go into it. The Philistines. Okay. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Not the Negroes. Why does it say not the Negroes? Why does it say not the Negroes? The Negroes are the slaves. It says Negroes, Negroes, Negroes for sale. Negroes for sale. Slaves. Negroes, Negroes, Negroes. Don't say nothing about Africans. It says slave, slave, Negroes, prime Negroes, Negroes, slaves, slaves. Not once does it say Africans. Not once. Okay? It doesn't say that. Not the Negroes. Why? Why not the Negroes? Because the Negroes are not Africans. These are the Africans. Okay? The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary says Ham, the sons of Ham are, okay, the sons of Ham are the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. Okay, now from there, let's get Philistine. Let's get the lineage of the Philistines real quick. Lineage of the Philistines Bible. See if we can find it in the Bible here. See how they're going to hide it, of course. Exactly who are the Philistines in the Bible? It's going to go back to the sons of Ham. Okay? Canaan. It says, in the Old Testament, Philistines are viewed as the bad guy, long-term enemies of Israel. Huh. From the time they first encountered each other, Moses sent 12 Hebrew scouts or spies to survey Canaan before the Israelis. There weren't no Israelis. Israelites entered it, and they were terrified when they met the Philistines. Okay, so let me see. Philistine, Hebrew Philistine encounter. Let me see the sons of Ham. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's go. Sons of Ham in the Bible. Still a little more, and bear with me. Sons of Ham in the Bible are found where? Genesis. Sons of Ham were Genesis 10 and 6. Let's go there. Got to prove all things. Genesis 10 and 6. Genesis 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. Okay, where do we find Philistium? Uh-oh. And Mizraim. The Philistines come out of Mizraim, who is the Egyptians. Mizraim, where's Mizraim? And the sons of Ham are Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. So where did the Philistian, out of who came Philistium, right? And Mizraim begat Lud and Anamim, Lahabim, Neputhim, Naphthuim, and Pathruism, and Kazluim, out of whom came Philistium. So the Philistines are out of the Egyptians. There it is. Okay? You got to prove all things. You get it? And Mizraim, that's Egypt, right? These came out of the Egyptians, and Pathruism and Kazluim, out of whom came Philistines. They're Hamites, Africans, if you will. Where is Egypt located? On the continent of Africa. Okay, so these Philistines are African people, not the so-called Ishmaelites. Okay, not Ishmael. Ishmael comes out of Shem. All right, Abraham, Ishmael. Okay, Ishmael was a Hebrew. Iber, where's Iber? Eber, right there. There's Ishmael. Okay, so you can't lie your way out. All right, so anyway, back to Joel, NLT. All right. There I will judge them for harming my people, my special, for scattering my people, for dividing up my land. Who divided it? One more time. Where did we go with it? Where did we go with it? We went. Is it here? Salakia. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power, surely in the fire of my jealousy, this is Ezekiel 36 and 5. I have spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart. With despiteful minds to cast it out for prey. So you can't hide. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Where's BB? You guys can't hide. Look. This is Idumea. They appointed the land into their hands. And they're over there fighting and killing. What did they do? I've killed many. Who did he say? Arabs. He didn't say Palestinians. He said Arabs. because that's who those people calling themselves Palestinians, they're Arabs. The Arabs are the sons of Ishmael. These people are the sons of Edom. Okay, these Amalekites are the sons of Edom. Those are the ones that divided up the Most High's land, appointed it into their hands. Who did it? Who took the Most High's land? Through the Balfour Declaration. Where'd it go? Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. What's going on here? We don't have to go into it. Was a public statement issued by the British government during the First World War announcing its support for the establishment of a national home for who? This is them, okay, appointing. This is the appointment of the land into whose hands? These Edomites that are calling themselves us. And that's just what it is. Wait a minute, what does the Bible say? Who does the Bible say that who was going to do this? Who does the Bible say was going to appoint the land into their hands? Therefore, prophecy concerning the land of Israel until the mountains and hill, the ravines and the valleys, that this is what the Lord power says. Behold, I have spoken in my burning zeal, because you have endured the reproach of the nations. We have endured the reproach of the nations. See, the Bible's telling on everybody about what's going on. And you can do what you want. You can strike this because it's the truth. You can do whatever you want. All right? But guess what? But for the truth, right? Can't do nothing against it. 2 Corinthians 13 and 8, for we can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So with that, we hope that the elect are edified. You brothers and few sisters, with that, shalom.